All right. So I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about the GoFundMe stuff that we've got going on. Um, so as I said in the last episode, I started a GoFundMe page for the podcast to kind of upgrade some of this old stuff that we've got. You can see this old board back over here. There's just it's old. The interface to get into the computer is also old, and all of this stuff worked fine in the beginning, and when I was just trying to figure out, feel my way around this world. But now that I've got my bearings a little bit better, or kind of know my way around a little bit more, it's time to step up to the next level. We're gaining listeners. We're actually getting people who are wanting to be on the podcast and doing the video thing now. So I really kind of want to step up the whole audio video spectrum, basically, of this. No affiliation with Time Warner. I want to just step up the game a little bit, and get some better equipment so we can release a better product for you guys. Um, so the GoFundMe has done pretty well so far. We've got 200 of 1,000 raised, and that is awesome. That alone is going to be able to help get a new board so that we can go straight from here to the computer and not have to have the this interface that we're using now, which I know probably doesn't make sense to a lot of you, but if it does, awesome. And if it doesn't, continue listening, because there's probably going to be some more things that'll confuse you about what I'll say. Um, Also, to upgrade these mics, these are great mics for. I mean, they're just great mics, period. But maybe something that is actually more geared towards a speaking microphone rather than like a live performance mic like these are. Um, and yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so the we've done really well. We've got 200 of 1,000 so far. Brother Charlie Gray and my the first person who I lived with when I moved to the beach, my first roommate, um, and also EJ Blaze from uh, I don't know where he is now, but he was the one that gave me my first gig when I moved to the beach, and we did open mics, and he was the first one to give me a gig down here. So both of them donated, and a couple others that would rather remain uh, anonymous have also donated. But really appreciate that sincerely, and invite anyone else who is able to please donate to the cause if you're into it. If you're not, well wishes and good vibes are 100% accepted. So, like, if it's nothing more than I'm digging what you got going on in a message, that's absolutely perfect. Also, in the name of stepping up the game a little bit in the podcast world, I have started a Patreon page, which we're Patreon, patreon.com/ Merle's Endless Stuff. All one word, obviously. And it's pretty much, Patreon is basically a website for creators and anybody who creates things, whether it be music, movies, skits, sketches. Michael Swaim is the guy who I first saw do that with his Small Beans, and some of you guys maybe who listen to Sunset Grill heard Michael on an episode, and he's legit. He's the real deal out in LA, and anything that he does is probably a good step to take. So, in his following his lead, I started a Patreon page for us, which also accepts donations. This whole thing is not all about donations, by the way. It's just sort of a catching up on where we are in in this thing. So yeah, the Patreon page does allow donations, but it's also a place similar to Facebook, but way better in the way in which I can post episodes. I can share these videos that I make, and it's pretty much it's basically like a Facebook timeline. Is very similar to that, and just like I said, just for creators and businesses and small businesses and people who are just, I guess, trying to step up their game, for lack of a better term. So yeah, so go to patreon.com/Merle's Endless Stuff. Check out our website there. And I apologize for flooding Facebook with all of these new things that I'm just throwing all out there, but um, really trying to up the stock of this podcast thing. And it's actually going a bit better than I expected it to when I first started out. But even going back and watching early episodes of Joe Rogan Experience, like he's in about the same shape that I was in. Maybe, I mean, obviously a little better, but I'm just, as we're growing in this thing. I want to sort of raise the bar a little bit as far as if I have better equipment to work with, then that will make me feel like pressured to release a better product. And that's basically all I'm after. Also, by all means, anything that, any tips or things that you guys feel maybe needs to be done differently, or um, anything like that, any kind of help would be 100% appreciated. Any sort of constructive criticism, or I don't care, any kind of criticism or any sort of ideas that you may have to where I could do this thing better, I would 100% love to hear those. And because this is for you guys basically as much as it is for me, to just give me a way to get all the things out of my system that I need to get out of my system so that I don't lose it on other people. I like to do that. But not anymore. I've gotten better about that. We've talked about this situation before. However, we're not going down that road yet. I'm just about to record a sports episode and talk about the things going on in the sports world. But I wanted to get this little bit of information out to you so you can see what we're doing, where we're going, the sort of share the vision basically, and that's basically where we're at. So just trying to drive up the stock on this podcast that we've got and try to get more people into it, and yeah, actually make it a real thing, which I guess it kind of already is, huh? All right. Well, I'm not going to take up your time anymore today with this subject. Once again, for the GoFundMe thing, thank you guys so much for donating who have so far. And in advance, thank you for those who will. And obviously, any kind of donation that we receive, I will be posting as we go of the things that come from those donations, like the equipment that we buy, and obviously all of that will be shared with you. So thank you for that. Check out the GoFundMe, Merle's Inlet Stuff. It's all shared to my Kelsey Hudgens Facebook page, also Merle's Inlet Stuff's Facebook page. Check out patreon.com/Merle's Inlet Stuff for basically every episode that we post is going to be posted there. It's going to be just like our Facebook page, except it's going to be in a different website that has a little bit more benefits for me as a creator. And so yeah, check that out. Can't thank you enough for listening. This seriously is the coolest thing that I've ever done outside of music. And I started getting interesting in this and the woodworking around the same time. And this is so head and shoulders far above the woodworking abilities right now. And I rarely ever get honest enjoyment out of things, as sad as that is to say. I rarely ever enjoy doing things. And this is something I genuinely enjoy doing. And I thank you guys for giving me the platform in which to do this, or actually just listening when I get on my soapbox, basically. So definitely appreciate that. Thank you guys. Love you to death. Mean it. Um, have a wonderful day. Be safe on Cinco, by the way. I know there's a bunch of you fools out there that's going to be trying to get hammered and whatnot. Be safe on Cinco. Read the history. Find out what it's about first as well. So there's that. All right, guys. Love you. Mean it.